beautiful city. You know, scenic water views, right? You know, rolling hills and historical buildings. We're surrounded by beautiful things. Grand Avenue, when you travel it at night, it is a beautiful, quaint little place. The ambiance is wonderful. So there's a lot to enjoy. And the cuisine, oh my gosh, how much cuisine do we have for a tiny place like St. Paul? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it is.
So we can market the value of that city from the East Coast to the West Coast and bring in businesses that are not already there. Businesses who are looking for exactly that environment, you know, where commute is not too far.
Well, that's interesting. You have experience in knowing what is in other states and what other businesses are that aren't here.
That's right.
And you have all those connections. And you know how to talk business.
Yes.
To the business people.
Yes, well, you know, you got to know what they're looking for, what conditions they're looking for, what environments they're looking for. And you can tell them this is what we have there. And if they are paying more taxes, say, in the state of New York, and they're paying more taxes, say, in the state of California, they're going to say, well, maybe it's a good deal for us to go to St. Paul. You know, we're going to get, you know, green, we're going to get a lighter commute, we're going to get river views, we're going to get quaint cuisine and nice little shops. Well, why wouldn't they want to come? A lot of people just don't know about that. Oh, by the way, we're finding out that people who incubate techie businesses, they actually like St. Paul for the long winters because it gives the program writers more incentive to stay indoors to do longer projects. It's actually a plus.
Well, I guess if that works, you know.
I had no idea that was a plus, and it is a plus.
But it would take somebody with business experience to figure out that angle.
Yes.
And knowing businesses.
Yes. And you know, and this has been done, by the way. This is not, you know, I didn't dream this up all by myself. I've seen examples of this done. Where I came from, Houston, Texas, from 1982 to 1991, that 10 years, there was a lady named Kathy Whitmire who actually grew that city huge, from something in the order of 1.3 million to 4 million people in those 10 years. And there was a time I was riding on the freeway and listening to the radio, and they're saying Floridians are trading in their license plates 3,000 at a time, 3,000 per month. For Texas plates. So that was something, but that's what she did. She went from the West Coast and the East Coast, and she brought in all these big businesses, tech companies. She diversified the economy. They no longer rely on oil.
Well, and that's critical for any city being diversified, because you see what happens to Detroit and other places that have been devastated by being a one industry type of town. But I mean, there's a transition that has to take place here, because in order for businesses to come in, you have to lower the taxes. Well,
we're going to definitely have to work with the state to help us out.
Okay.
Yeah, to make it a more business-friendly situation.
Okay, and in order to lower them, there's a point of risk there, where if these businesses don't come in, then you have less revenue. But there's probably some glut and excess in the budget anyway.
Well, actually, we don't really have to do that. The private sector can take care of a lot of this for us. Now, when you are the building owner and you have 30% vacancy in your building, what are you going to do?
You want to get it rented.
That's it.
Absolutely. You want to see it rented.
You want to offer an incentive package,
right?
Don't you?
Right.
But that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to wait till I'm mayor to start doing that project. I'm going to start it now. I'm going to appeal to the property owners. I'm going to say, you want your property occupied, yes? Let's put together an enticing package for a business to come in and occupy your space. So we're going to take that package and give it to the delegation who's going to the East Coast and let them present it to a prospective business. And we'll do the same thing with a delegation to the West Coast and let them present that to prospective businesses. And I bet you there is a way to do this. What I need to do is put together a template that these businesses can use. And the government don't have to be involved in this. They just need to be the liaison to make it happen.
Well, and that's, you know, that's a whole mindset of a city and the government and what it's there for. I think a lot of governments today are seeing themselves as the cities are seeing themselves as, we're a business, so since we're a business, we need to grow our revenues just because we're a business.
Oh, I see.
I mean, businesses need to grow revenue. So we're a business, so let's grow our revenue. And make more profit for the city. And I mean, that's the mindset of Maplewood.
They look at themselves
they're
as a
getting
business.
us way into debt. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But, 20 million, I mean, we went up 25% in debt over a 1-year time span from 60 to 80 million. And it's in this economy, problems.
And then, another thing we need to do is we need to take care of our existing businesses. A lot of them have been loyal to St. Paul, had taken the time to build their businesses, and they've been there. And they've been there through thick and thin. When it was crime-ridden, they were there, and they chased away the criminals, and they built something valuable of their properties. Those people we need to take care of. We need to find programs that will, not necessarily a program, but ways to lighten their burden, and to find ways to help them consolidate their buying power and help promote them a little more. We find ways to maybe put resources together. For instance, they have a lot of MBAs graduating from St. Thomas. What if we ask them to do an internship and help out doing some consulting for these businesses to freshen up the, either the place, or freshen up the menu, or freshen up, the way they operate. For instance, we have all these river boat restaurants that we have along St. Paul, along with the Mississippi. They probably need a little consulting to kind of gin up the tourism business. So.
Well, and it's definitely a selling point of St. Paul. I mean, being a river city, and that is.
And we need to make that immaculate. We make it
It's
a destination spot that people talk about. We love the food there. We love the destination. We love the views. They got to have a good time when we write about it in magazines and entice people to come and enjoy the same.
Well, and that west side of St. Paul, the west side, it can be a very, very nice place. And I used to live over there on the Cherokee Avenue bluffs in Cherokee Park, and it was a nice place to live. Well, we only got a couple minutes left.
It was so fun. It goes fast.
Really quick.
Yes.
And I know a lot of property owners in St. Paul, and they've really been mistreated by inspections and code enforcement with trickery. I've even had people calling me why city inspectors are on their property without a warrant and on their roofs. And it's a nightmare what's happening there. I hope those issues get addressed, and because you're going to hear about them and be involved with them.
There are a lot of issues to address. I understand that they probably have a little more authority than the police.
Well, I've been to some of these hearings, and they have what they're called quasi-judicial legislative administration hearings. And so it's all 3 branches of government, all tied into one person.
Oh, my.
Well, Eva, we got a minute here before we got to wrap up. Anything you kind of want to conclude with, or?
Well, I am looking forward to doing this project to help St. Paul. I love living there. I really enjoy the people who live in St. Paul, and I really would want to turn this around and make it a vibrant, beautiful town for everybody who lives there. And and I would like to set it up for long-term growth and stability.
Well, many blessings to you in your
so
endeavors, and I think you being in the race this will make this race exciting, and I think you're quite a unique candidate that we haven't seen here in a long time. So I hope it goes well for you. And I just want to remind the viewers, next Thursday, Dave Racer with Free Market Institute on healthcare, and I also be live on Bob Zick's show. And this show will go out and be replayed in the Stillwater area on next Monday. And then the following Monday it will be in St. Paul on SPNN. So thanks for coming, and you got one other thing you want to say?
Yes, we'd like to put in a website so that everybody can find where I am.
Yes. I forgot. What's your website? Let's
get
that.
It's evaformayor.com.
evaformayor.com.
Yep, spelled out.
All right, easy enough. All right, evaformayor.com.